Hi folks, welcome to your fourth video for American government. And today we are talking about the Federalists versus Anti-Federalists and the debate that they had surrounding ratifying or approving the US Constitution. So make sure that you are on the appropriate note page and let's get started. So you have two learning objectives for this video that you should be able to answer at the end. And the first is to summarize the positions of both the Federalists and Anti-Federalists on the extent of national government power. So what that is saying is, what did each of those groups believe? How much power should the national government have? And then your second objective is to explain how the Bill of Rights reflects the Anti-Federalist argument. So based on how or what the Anti-Federalists feel about the power of the national government, how does the Bill of Rights reflect that? Okay, so those are your objectives. Now, let's talk about this, right? Last video, we talked about, great, we have a constitution, right? We just talked about the overview. It's all set up. Let's sign the dang thing. Ooh, not yet. Not so fast. It wasn't that easy, right? Imagine trying to get 55 people to all agree on one thing. That's not very easy. So we're going to see two groups emerge at the time of ratification. And those two groups are the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists. And they're going to debate, really, their main issue is how much power should the national government have under the new Constitution. So this kind of puts a halt on things, right? The anti-feds and the feds are kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like just like the Jeff, right? We need to figure this out. How much power should we give the national government? We had a government before under the Articles where the national government had zero power. That didn't work. We've had a king who had all of the power. That didn't work either. So how can we make it so the national government has power but doesn't take away the liberties and freedoms of the people? So first, we're going to talk about the Federalists, and these are your big popular names like Alexander Hamilton, James Madison. They're going to be the ones that are really writing these Federalist papers, and they're supportive of the new Constitution. They're like, it's ready to go. We don't have to add anything. Why are we even debating this? New Constitution, thumbs up. Okay. They thought that a strong central government was needed. A strong central government was needed for unity among the states, for protection if we ever go to war. It was really just needed to make the government efficient and do what it is set up and designed to do. And the Federalists argue that separation of powers and checks and balances are already in place in the Constitution, right? We looked at Articles 1 through 3 the other day in your video notes, and those, according to the Federalists, are perfect enough to prevent one branch from becoming too powerful, right? They're saying, look, we've already given powers to each branch. Each branch has the power to review the actions of the other and prevent them from abusing power. What else do we need? That is already there. It's already put into place. So because of this, they think that a Bill of Rights is not necessary. The Bill of Rights that we'll talk about here in a second, put forward by the Anti-Federalists, wasn't necessary to protect people's freedoms because we didn't need to worry about it, because separation of powers and checks and balances would take care of that already. And because of those principles, the government could not become too powerful to take away liberty, rights, and freedoms. So to the Federalists, they didn't understand the Anti-Federalist argument. Now, Anti-Federalists are going to come back at them and say, look, we do not agree that this new Constitution is good enough. I don't want you guys to think that the Anti-Federalists were like, boo, Constitution. They were for a new Constitution. However, they didn't like it the way that it was originally written. They were against the fact that this new Constitution made the national government a lot stronger than it was under the Articles of Confederation. And they were very fearful that this new, very strong national government would lead to tyranny or abuse of power by the government. They are going to believe in states' rights. So they do believe that something's got to be done to fix the articles, but they do believe that most of the power should stay in those small states in order to make sure that liberty and freedoms are protected. And they're going to demand that a Bill of Rights limit the national government from abusing its power. They want to make sure that these freedoms that we have fought so hard for from Britain are protected and they cannot be taken away by the national government. Now, when we look at this Bill of Rights, okay, the Bill of Rights is a crucial compromise to ratification of the Constitution. The Bill of Rights actually is what we get. The Anti-Federalists do win, so to speak, and they get the Bill of Rights because the Federalists are like, fine, if that's what it's going to take to have this Constitution be put into place, we'll give you your first 10 amendments. Now, these first 10 amendments are written to restrict the national government and prevent its abuse of an individual's civil liberties. So when we're thinking about this, right, national government, the Anti-Federalists are very fearful of this. The Bill of Rights is put into place to limit the power of the national government. So the Bill of Rights is an example of limited government. It's placing restrictions on what the government can and cannot do. And it's making sure that the people are protected. So the Anti-Federalists' argument against a very strong national government and protection of liberties is reflected in this Bill of Rights. So that actually concludes this video. So your learning objectives are, 1, summarize the positions of both the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists on the extent of how much power the national government should have, and explain how the Bill of Rights reflects the Anti-Federalist argument. Okay, so you will answer these 2 questions in Edpuzzle. Make sure that you have your notes filled in, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. See ya.